All right, let's talk about gold. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jewelry, big, shiny bars locked away in a vault. And yeah, that's part of the story. But what if I told you that's the boring part? The real future of gold is something so much bigger, so much more critical, that most people have absolutely no idea what's coming. Because honestly, the future of gold is not what you think. Not even close. It's not just about money. It's about power, technology, and maybe even the future of humanity itself. And the story is just getting started. Okay, so let's start with the basics, the thing we all kind of know. For literally thousands of years, gold has been the ultimate safe haven. Whenever the world gets a little shaky, a little chaotic, this is where smart money runs for cover. But today, that instinct isn't just happening, it's being supercharged. And here's why. On one hand, you have currencies like the dollar. They can be printed out of thin air, and their only value comes from our trust in the government that issues them. But on the other hand, you've got gold. It's real. It's finite. You can't just make more of it. Its value doesn't depend on a promise from anyone. It just is. And get this, it's not just regular investors who are thinking this way. The world's central banks, the biggest players in the financial game, are buying up physical gold like never before. They're basically moving their chips away from promises and onto something real. So gold's traditional role, it isn't fading away. If anything, it's becoming more important than ever. But that's just chapter 1. Here's where the story takes a massive turn that most people miss completely. See, beyond all the finance and the vaults, gold is quietly running our entire modern world. It's a hidden tech engine. Seriously, look around you. The smartphone in your hand, it's got gold in it. The satellites beaming down GPS signals, gold. Life-saving medical devices, the insane hardware powering AI, even the electric cars we're all moving towards, they all depend on gold. Why? Because it's an almost perfect conductor of electricity, and crucially, it never ever rusts or corrodes. It just works. And we're not talking about a little bit here and there. We are talking about billions of devices, trillions of tiny connections, all humming away, powered by the unique physical properties of gold. This is creating a gigantic, non-stop industrial demand that's completely invisible to most of us. So we've got this ancient safe haven, and we've got this hidden tech engine. Now let's look forward. Let's talk about a future that sounds like it's straight out of a movie, but is actually being built in labs right now. Check this out. For space exploration, we're using super thin films of gold to shield astronauts and equipment from deadly solar radiation. In medicine, scientists are using tiny gold nanoparticles to literally hunt down and kill cancer cells inside the body. And when you look at the next massive leaps, quantum computing, medical implant that perfectly merge with our bodies, guess what material is at the center of it all? Gold. It's becoming the literal building block of our high-tech future. So, what happens next? What happens when you smash together this timeless financial demand with an exploding, absolutely critical technological demand? Well, that's when you have to start talking about the price. The math here is actually pretty simple. You have demand coming from everywhere all at once, and it's growing like crazy. At the same time, the supply of gold is pretty much fixed. It's incredibly hard to find and mine, so you have this collision course, skyrocketing demand hitting a brick wall of limited supply. That's a recipe for a price explosion. Some analysts are looking at this and saying, you know what, $3,000 an ounce isn't a crazy idea. In fact, it might just be the next logical step. Then you have others who are looking at just how deep our tech dependence goes, and they think we could see a push all the way to 5,000. And then you have the extreme scenario. If all of these things, the financial uncertainty, the tech boom, the sci-fi future, if they all hit at the same time over the next decade, some experts aren't rolling out $10,000 an ounce. Now, of course, these are just forecasts, but they show you the kind of thinking that's happening behind the scenes. So what's the big idea here? What's the one thing to take away from all this? It's that we have to completely change how we think about gold. This is no longer just about its price. We are talking about gold becoming a new kind of global, strategic power. It really just boils down to these 3 simple words. Gold is fundamentally rare. It is becoming absolutely essential for everything from our financial stability to our technological progress. And for its most important jobs, it's completely irreplaceable. There's no substitute. And that leads us right to this. When you find a resource that has those three qualities, its value stops being just about money. It transforms into something else. It becomes leverage. It becomes influence. It becomes power. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Are we watching gold transform right before our eyes from just a shiny metal into one of the most vital strategic resources of the 21st century? As important as oil or microchips. The future we're building isn't just going to be digital. It might just be golden. Thanks for tuning in.